What's going on, guys? Welcome back to LOI Fan TV. I'm absolutely delighted once again to be joined by Luke as we look ahead to the international break. Of course, Ireland have a double header in the Aviva over the next couple of days. Obviously, we have Belgium up first on Saturday evening, and then we have, I believe, it's Switzerland on Tuesday night as well. So, couple of good tests for John O'Shea as he takes over the reins. Luke, how are you, mate? All good?
Oh, good. Yeah. It's nice to get the break now from the league bar and kind of focus on something else for a week or so. So yeah, now it'll be an interesting week anyway. Two really tough games for John O'Shea. So yeah, let's see how we get on.
Yeah, absolutely. Touching on O'Shea to begin with, obviously, kind of the managerial situation with Ireland has been a bit of a mess so far. Obviously, kind of a lot of different names being sprung about. O'Shea kind of coming in. Do you think it's kind of the right decision for the moment to take your time over getting the right man in and give it to O'Shea, who's kind of, I think he's has a decent reputation for being a good coach himself. Obviously, very experienced in the Premier League as a player. Do you think it's the right decision to kind of take their time with it?
Yeah, well, it all depends really on who they get, who the bottom line is, Obviously
Yeah,
Lee Carsey was pursued for a long time, and I was reading a piece there during the weekdays after he's out there saying himself he's no longer in contention, so
yeah,
that isn't the deal. So yeah, no, like John O'Shea, as far as kind of, I'm just kind of a bit not frustrated. I would have kind of like because the FAI kind of came out and took a line saying, right, O'Shea's going to take the two matches, and then we have somebody ready in April. I kind of would have preferred to be like, right, let's see how John O'Shea gets on, then we'll make a decision in April.
yeah. Give him the
If he does
opportunity to
well,
trial,
yeah,
like,
it kind of looks like a good little setup there. Obviously, Paddy McCarthy, Glenn Whelan, and
yeah.
like Brian Kerr kind of going in an advisory role. Like you could kind of see it working
Mm.
better than the previous regime. So like I
Yeah.
just kind of I suppose I'm a bit not wouldn't use the word frustrated, but I would have kind of liked since the FAO were going at such a pace, I would have rather than keep it for an extra extended period to see how we got on. What do you make of the point?
Yeah. No, I think it's the right decision, and I think Paddy McCarthy's a good one as well because a lot of people won't know, maybe not know who he is. I don't think he ever got an Irish cap, but he was the Crystal Palace captain back in the day, and he is their first team coach there. And I think he's managed their actual first team a couple of times, and it's kind of been in between managers. He's kind of taken the reins, and he's a very, very highly rated coach. Probably one of the best young coaches in Ireland, or from Ireland even. So yeah, I think he's a really kind of shrewd to get him on that kind of dual role. And whether he'd want to pursue that as like a full-time gig doing Ireland and Palace at the same time remains to be seen. Possibly he would. So yeah, I think it's not a terrible kind of thing for the time being. And looking at a lot of the names, I've pulled it up here. Like John O'Shea is probably one of the ones where you're like, okay, I'm kind of could get on board behind it. I'd support like a fully back the kind of team, but then again, it's kind of like they went all out for Lee Carlson to not get him. It is a failure from the FAI as a whole. But just to run through some of the names, Willie Sagnol, I think he's the manager of George at the moment. He's a former French international footballer. He's the favorite at the moment. Gus Poyet, number two. Lee Carlson, still number three, but he's kind of ruled himself out pretty much at this stage. Anthony Barry, number four. I think he's an exciting young coach, but he's very inexperienced since being a full-time manager. John O'Shea's there. Robbie Keane, who I can't see get really because of kind of the controversy around him support managing
God,
Tel Aviv, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah.
Then you've Paul Clements, Slavan Bilic, Chris Coleman, Chris Houghton. Like the names aren't great, aren't they? Not like
A lot of kind of outdated names there, like Chris
yeah,
Coleman, like maybe 10 years ago that would have
yeah,
been a good one. But yeah, it's just a situation we find ourselves in. Now I was reading that the FEI have kind of outlined the sources that the person that is getting the job has managerial experience at club level. So obviously that kind of rules out your Anthony Barry's like
yeah.
probably one that sticks out to me to be honest is Gus Poyet because
Mm,
obviously he managed Greece. He kind of done a job on us twice. Now I know it can kind of end kind of in tears. He kind of has that personality, but like he has credential, Premier League managerial experience, international experience. He done are okay with Greece, and he's been in the game as of late. So to be honest, I wouldn't be against Gus Poyet if we could get him. I just
yeah.
think that yeah. What do you make?
I think I'll be a bit uninspired by him now, to be
Yeah,
honest. But
yeah. I suppose
then
just the names you named out there, like who else would you go for, you know?
you'd nearly be like, okay, get a Steve Bruce and get a Sam Allardyce in. But then like you're
As
kind
a
of like
Newcastle fan, you do not want to see Steve Bruce. Oh my God, I think I'll start following Northern Ireland if that happens.
yeah.
I could not do another stint of
That's what I think. I
that.
think John O'Shea could be the right man for the moment because I don't think we're
Yeah,
basically qualified for probably the next tournament. I think we're such a young group. I think maybe like we need another kind of transitional phase. Maybe like okay, Kenny wasn't the man, but he gave 25 debuts. O'Shea's not the man, but he might take us on a little bit further and get
yeah.
things. more experience. So, and then he hands it over the reins to somebody else in maybe a year or two's time. Like yeah,
I agree
that
with
could be
that.
the
Yeah,
play. Yeah.
definitely.
That's why I think Carsey would have been the perfect long-term option because he can kind of grow with the team as he's going, kind of come up from under 21s. He can work with young players and then grow with the team. And he's a good enough coach to kind of really
Mm.
so that's how good by Carsey not being.
Yeah, maybe the FAI could have went like, like we want you and we're willing to wait for you. We'll give
Mm.
it to O'Shea for a term. Like that wouldn't have been the word. Like sure they did it with Mick McCarthy and Stephen Kenny.
Yeah, no,
Um,
absolutely. Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, like on reflection, I suppose that could have been a move that maybe would have shown Lee Carsey that Ireland are in, like they're willing to do anything for him. So
yeah.
I just
No,
think even like from his experience, like he doesn't seem to jump. He kind of he's very kind of settled and he really thinks long and hard and it has to be the perfect opportunity.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just a bit annoying that that's kind of gone now.
Seems like a real analytical kind of guy. Yeah, like he
Mm,
just yeah, he's. I think he would have been a great appointment. But sure, look, what can you do? We'll move on to kind of the first squad that John O'Shea is named as Republic of Ireland manager. No major great surprises in it. Obviously, it was great to see Sammy Schmodox come in. After a couple of little rumors and bits and pieces, obviously came out that it was unfounded in the end, but the kind of hungry
mm.
rumors. Finn Azaz gets his first call up, which is great. He's Middlesbrough. Obviously, he was with Plymouth recently. Got that kind of big enough move to Middlesbrough. Obviously, we got Jake O'Brien with his first call up as well. Liam Scales retains his place in the squad. So there's a couple of new additions to the squad and a couple of exciting prospects.
Yeah, for sure. Even like for the we have like Queven Kelleher getting a run out with Liverpool.
Mm.
You'd have to think now, based off the last couple of months and how volatile international football is, that he's a shoe in to start.
Yeah,
Um, you'd have to think. I know Bazuna's been a net for us and he's done a reasonably good job, but like club form is the most of international football, so you'd have to go with that. And Jake O'Brien obviously playing week in week out with Lyon, which is fantastic to see. A
yeah.
young Irish player kind of going on. And yeah, like as he said, kind of Sammy Smodics has been is he still a month ago now he was a top scorer in the championship. I'm not sure if he still is, but like
Definitely up there. Yeah.
yeah, he's up there anyways. But what an acquisition! Like obviously like Mikey Johnson kind of doing well at West Brom, and you've got Benny doing well at Luton. Like we kind of have a good base there to
Mm.
build on, which is just kind
Yeah.
of frustrating with the managerial situation because obviously we would like to get that sorted so we can build on that. But yeah, no, the squad's looking good now. I have to say, I was happy with kind of the squad John O'Shea picked. What did you make of the
Yeah,
decision?
no, I agree. I think there's obviously
Yeah.
no huge surprise. Maybe a Robbie Brady still retaining his place in squad's a little bit of a shock. Maybe
Mm,
there was one other name as well that I was surprised by. It's not coming to me now. I'm trying to find it there, but was it Jamie McGrath? Maybe Cam O'Dowd. Cam
mm,
O'Dowd. Sorry, yeah, he hasn't. I think he's only back from injury. He hasn't really been playing at all. So maybe
yeah.
it's an option at left wing back or something because they're kind of light in that area, I guess. But yeah, there's a couple of Jamie McGrath doesn't inspire me too much. But that's probably more of a personal thing with me and him after how he left Wigan. But
It's mad how our international football, how club football politics comes into it.
I
Like Jeff
know.
and me is, I couldn't, I wouldn't even take him a Rovers,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like, but yeah, Mikey Johnson's I only have to mention as well. Actually, since his move to West Brom, he's been fantastic. He's been so
Unbelievable, yeah.
exciting. So I
Which is
think,
such a weird one with this whole Celtic thing because Celtic have been somewhat struggling this season, and Mikey Johnson's kind of looked very good anytime he's played for Ireland. Like, and you have
yeah,
to
yeah.
what's going on up there that he didn't get a chance.
Mental, isn't it? Sometimes it's just like if a new fresh surroundings can just make a player can't. I think like, and I think he just needed the fresh start, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah,
Um,
for
obviously
sure.
looking at the Belgium team, then I think there's a few players missing. I think Kevin De Bruyne has been ruled out. Romelu
Yeah,
Lukaku has been ruled out, but you're still playing against the likes of Batshuayi there, Trossard, Jeremy Doku, Lewis Openda at Leipzig, who's doing very well. You've Yuri Tielemans, Onana, who's at Everton. And yeah, it's kind of quality and Premier League, Champions League players kind of throughout the squad. Still, even maybe with arguably their two most important players missing. But I think that for me, this game isn't necessarily about the result, but more about the performance and kind of seeing what sort of play we kind of have and stuff like that, isn't it? Really?
yeah, yeah. Like Belgium, kind of, I suppose, with the De Bruyne thing, like probably Pep. That's probably a bit of Pep saying, you know what, like we were running,
Yeah,
so don't go. It's the March internationals are kind of notorious for that, so like it's a blessing for us. But yeah, as you said, Belgium are a great side, and obviously we've given them a game in the past, like the friendly we
yeah.
had
Two
with
hours.
yeah 2-2, yeah.
Yeah,
So like it'd be kind of interesting to see if we can build on that and maybe get a result. And but as you said, like be kind of more the takeaway for us fans is probably more like what formation, what team, what's the philosophy, kind of how do we look? that'll kind of be more rather than the results, you know. So as you said,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be an interesting one, but certainly Belgium are the favourites.
Yeah, like if you're John O'Shea here, do you kind of just like approaching the game? Do you just kind of go for it rather than having kind of a sit
Mm.
back or kind of working on a shape kind of thing? Do you kind of just obviously there's elements that, but kind of just have a go.
Yeah, well, I feel like Stephen Kenny was very much of that ilk.
Yeah,
Um, I think as John O'Shea as a defender, like it's probably a bit more pragmatic. Now, I'm not
maybe.
going to say it's going to be Nick McCarthy ball by any means, but certainly I can imagine him setting up the team from the back to kind of defend well from the off, and kind of anything that comes after that comes after that. But
Yeah,
yeah, as I said, like it's just we've prided ourselves off like under previous managers kind of being hard to beat and kind of how being tough at the back. And I know it was a bit grim at times at kind of the other end of the pitch, but I
yeah.
wouldn't mind seeing a bit of, a bit of defensive solidity at the back, and that would really kind of I'd be pleased if we were watching the game. Belgium were kind of struggling to break us down, you know.
Yeah, no, 100%. And yeah, it would definitely. I think I'm not sure if O'Shea kind of sees it as like a free hit where he says,
Mm,
oh, like whatever happens, happens, or if he sees this, okay, I can really make a case for this job here and like
mm.
build something. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he approaches it. Speaking of which, we'll kind of try and predict, maybe it's half prediction, half what we want to see ourselves in terms of a starting 11. We might try and build a team together. What formation do you reckon? Because Kenny kind of did transition between that five at the back and four at the back kind of thing. He kind of did move around it. What do you think O'Shea will do?
Do you know what? I'm just kind of looking at the players that we have, and
Yeah,
wouldn't be surprised if John O'Shea kind of went for a 4-2-3-1. Just I'm just thinking of the likes of having your, your Smodics available now, and obviously your winger options. I wouldn't be against the 4-2-3-1. What do you think?
yeah. I was thinking yeah, kind of a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 type thing.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was kind of thinking. Yeah, yeah. So we've agreed on that. We'll try and agree on a goalkeeper. I do think the goalkeepers. I think Bazunu and Keller will probably just get a game each. I'd say
Wouldn't
probably
surprise me.
go for Kelleher on Saturday.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say Gallagher. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Gallagher.
he's been fantastic as of late. Does he need to move though?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things. But then again, you're thinking like, do you know what? Like if Allison kind of has an injury once every season, like
He
if
seems to,
Anita,
though, doesn't he? He seems to kind of get injured a
yeah,
little bit. Like,
he kind of has like a 2-3 month period in every season where he doesn't really play, and you're thinking, do you know what? Like if Kelleher can kind of stay there and kind of play some Champions League and play, but obviously it's ideal to have every week football. But yeah,
yeah.
it's his call. He's playing for one of the
Do
teams
you know
in the
what I
world.
kind of think a little bit with it as well? Not that Kelleher isn't like an outstanding goalkeeper, but
Mm.
I think there's an element of like say Bazunu going to Southampton, taking that huge risk and playing with a really shoddy back four every week, but getting that experience and he went to Rochdale in League One, playing with kind of those kind of players, I think will actually do Bazunu more favors
Oh
getting
yeah,
on the international stage and becoming like that elite level goalkeeper. Like I think if Keller had have done that Southampton move, I think we could have seen similar things as Bazuna, where you kind of making more mistakes, confidence is low. You don't have Van Dijk and Kanate and Matip in front of you. You have kind of whoever it is in front of you. Like so, I think Bazunu and he's a couple of years younger as well. I think just the experience he's receiving, and he's had a good season this year by all accounts as well. I haven't obviously you haven't watched Southampton week in week out, but I think Bazunu long term in terms of the career has
yeah.
made the right decision by making that move.
Oh yeah, I think Bazina's ceiling is higher than Kelleher's,
Yeah,
and obviously like you see moments of world class goalkeeping from him. And as you said, like Queven Keller hasn't looked solid between the six for us either, and that's kind of an example of what you were saying. Like when
yeah.
you kind of take the
Confidence is a
Canates
big
and
thing.
Van Dijks away, it's a different story. So yeah, I just think as of right now, obviously Kelleher is playing at a higher level than Bazunu, but that doesn't mean that Bazunu, couldn't rise.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. Back four, then moving on to this. By the way, sorry, Connor Kearns robbed of a place in the team. May I add?
Ryan Maher, best league
Ryan
of Ireland
Maher,
keeper.
shambles, shambles, absolute shambles. I'd rather Liam Poser, is he?
Leo, not yet.
We'll move on to the back four then. Obviously, at right back, it's probably three options in terms of Seamus Coleman, Matt Doherty, please God, you're not going to say him, or
Oh,
Festi
God.
Ebosele, who's at Udinese. Who would you opt for?
I just go Seamus Coleman if he's fit, just captain
Yeah.
fantastic,
Yeah.
consistent. He'll kind of see us through. Yeah, I'd probably say John. And I saw the press conference of him and O'Shea yesterday, and they're kind of very kind of tight knit. I wouldn't. I'd be very surprised if he wasn't in the starting level.
Yeah.
I'll say Seamus Coleman.
Yeah. Left back then you're probably looking at no natural left back in the
Robbie
squad.
Brady, Callum
Left,
O'Dowda.
yeah, or Matt Doherty on the left, possibly you could say as well. Uh, this is a tough one, isn't it? This is what makes me think he might go for the five at the back because they're kind of more wing backs than full backs, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
But if you had to
Well,
pick one,
who starts left wing back then in that system?
you're
Matt
probably
Doherty.
looking. I think Doherty would be
Yeah.
Doherty. But I want to try and steer this team as like a forward back though. I say,
Yeah.
but there's no left back. Is there any left backs up and coming? I'm trying to think. Ryan Manning obviously isn't in the squad again. Was he injured or something?
Yeah, and your man Garcia McNulty is playing in the
Yeah.
Eredivisie. Um,
Sean Rowan is that link, and
Going around for Lincoln. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
He's a fella at Palace as well. Tayo
Oh,
Adarabioyo.
yeah. Yeah, he's on loan in Belgium, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
It's just
Yes,
kind of a weird one for left backs now. Obviously, there's a bit of it, and obviously, like Ryan Manning is a shoe in, like if he's in the team. But yeah, Jesus, I don't know.
O'Shea maybe.
Yeah, do you know he's been playing week in, week out for
Yeah.
Burnley, and he's a good ball playing defender. I wouldn't be surprised if because you can't really leave him out. He's starting every week in the Prem.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. And I saw a stat that he's actually clocked in the top five or top seven or something quickest players in the Premier League. He clocked like a stat for certain runs. So he's pace as well.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't be against kind of yeah him doing
Inversion
that. Yeah,
fullback. Yeah, I'm happy
I,
with that.
I'd say Darrell Shea left back. Yeah.
Nice one. Centre backs, then you're kind of taking your pick. Obviously, if O'Shea is at left back, you're taking the pick between Nathan Collins, Andrew Mamadile, and Jacob Ryan. And this isn't easy. There's a couple of really good
Mm.
options there. That's a really strong area for us.
I don't think Nathan Collins has been in the best of form recently with
No.
Brentford. And I'm kind of just thinking now, does kind of John Shea take a leap of faith in Andrew on Videle,
Yeah,
because he's playing week in week out for Notts Forest, and obviously
would be
Jacob
good.
Ryan's doing the same. To be honest, as a friendly, kind of trying something new, I probably would go with that pairing. I'd drop Nathan Collins.
Yeah, yeah, I'm happy to do that. I
Yeah,
am more looking at this defense down, thinking that he's going to play five at the back just because of the
yeah.
of it. But I'm happy to because
You
it's
know
kind of
what?
you want to see as well.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, he well could like you could well do yeah the like the left back and two centre halves as the back three.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Um,
your call.
could be hard. But I'm happy. I'm happy to go. I'm a Vamadile and Jacob Ryan centre
Okay,
back. O'Shea left back. Let's do it.
okay, cool.
Cool. Two central midfielders. Then you're kind of picking between Josh Cullen. You can maybe drop
Mm,
Jason Knight in there. Will Smallbone maybe playing as like a deep line playmaker, similar with Jamie McGrath, O'Dowd, Sykes, Finn Azaz. Probably our weakest area of the pitch, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. Well, Josh Cole's recently got back into the Burnley team as the sixth, so I can imagine he'd
This has been
be.
a poor season for them, hasn't it? As Burnley and
Yeah, really poor. And like Josh Cullen is such an influential player, and then winning the championship kind of hasn't replicated that form in
yeah,
the Premier League, which is unfortunate to see. And then you're kind of looking at Will Smallbone, someone who's kind of not really had a run of games in senior football. And to be fair, now this season he's been
better.
consistent for
Yeah,
Southampton. He's been in that team every week. So kind of off the back of that, I would probably say Smallbone and Cullen. What do you reckon?
yeah. I don't know the stats at the top of my head on Knight, but I do really like Jason Knight, and
Mm,
he's more of a kind
yeah,
of. I think he's obviously played in a variety of positions for us. He's played out wide.
yeah,
He's played in the 10. He can play in the 8. I'd
yeah.
probably lent towards Cullen and Knight personally, but I'm not against Smallbone in like a deep line playmaker kind of role. I'm just not sure if he's cut out for it really, but
Yeah, I'm just thinking like I think Knight's been playing as a 10 for Bristol
Bristol
City.
hasn't he? Yeah, yeah,
And like obviously anytime he's played with Ireland, he's kind of been on the left side of that front three or kind of in
yeah.
a 3-2 with like the roaming playmaker. So I just don't know if he'll play that deep. You could well have him in the front the three ahead, you know. Yeah, I wouldn't be
They're both gonna get plenty of minutes over the
yeah.
two games anyway. Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'll leave the call up to you. What do you reckon?
We'll go small ball. We'll go small ball. I'll give it to you. We'll go
Okay.
small ball.
Okay.
Playing for a
Okay.
team that's competing. I think he starts most weeks for them as well, doesn't he? Southampton.
Yeah, he starts on the right side of a tree. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah. Let's go with that. Let's go
anyway,
with that. In the 10, then I'm going for Sammy Schmaddox. What are you thinking?
showing an
Yeah,
absolute showing. Thank God he didn't pick Hungary because I know that was a rumor, but I was just like, oh, here we go again. Like we just
yeah.
left. I don't
No.
know why Stephen Kenny wouldn't pick him. I don't get it.
Yeah, I think he picked him and he dropped out for personal reasons or
Right.
something. I
Okay.
think he picked him once or twice, definitely towards the end of the year in fair
Yeah.
Kenny. And he dropped out himself. I think that's what it
Yeah.
was.
Someone that's approaching 30 now, like you just kind of wonder where he's been.
Yeah, I think he's kind of broke through as of late, like
Yeah.
season or two. Like I don't think
Mm.
he's fully ripping up trees. I think he was League One at Peterborough and stuff for a while.
Mm.
He's kind of a late bloomer, like kind of Wes was similar to a few others, David McGoldrick and stuff. Kind of
Yeah.
late bloomer players. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what he can do.
Yeah. Sure, we have him now. Thank God. And can we haven't really had it. we haven't really had a creative 10 since Wes Hoolahan, have
Not
we?
really, no. No, yeah,
So
not really.
it's exciting now. We kind of lack that creativity in the big games. They're gonna go and get goals. So obviously, like with the Evan Ferguson thread up top now, to have somebody that's able to kind of link up with them is really exciting. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to seeing how he gets on.
100%. Right hand side picks itself as well, I think, with Chia.
Good luck. But Brennan, yeah, he's been unbelievable this season for Luton. Yeah, wonder. I saw Luton fans saying outside Ross Barkley, he's probably the player of the year. So like that's some going for Ogbene, a League of Ireland kind of player with Limerick and Cork to kind of rise to that level, and he's been outstanding for Ireland. So yeah, he picks
Yeah,
himself.
no, 100%. On the left then, Mikey Johnson, or as you said, kind of Jason Knight. And Jason Knight, I think, was in one of our, I think he won player, like man the match then towards the end of last year and playing off to the left in one of the games, I think, as well. And I always think he's been quite good for Ireland. But I think just with the hype and everything going, I wouldn't be surprised to see Knight start, by the way. But I
Hmm?
think with the hype and everything going on at the moment, I think you'd have to go Johnson, wouldn't you? I think everyone wants to
Yeah,
see.
well, yeah, it'd be very harsh. Yeah, I think O'Shea's going to kind of pick a team that kind of like whets the appetite of the fan, and Mikey Johnson has to be in that team.
Yeah, yeah. 100%. And then finally, the lone striker, there's three to pick from. And last year would have said it was an easy choice. Maybe not so easy anymore. Evan Ferguson, Adam Ider, or Michael Obafemi starting off with Evan Ferguson, who's probably most likely to start and probably will be our pick in the end, but hasn't really been getting in as of late with Brighton. And I don't think he scored in a very 19 games. I think I saw something like that. So it's been a while.
In the fourth season for him, kind of. It's one of these cases, isn't it? Like a young kind of player comes through and everyone's talking about him, and kind of he got the hat trick against Newcastle at the start of the season, and yeah,
Yeah.
he just hasn't really been seen since. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be controversial there. I feel like it'd be very harsh to drop Adam Ida based off what he's done since he's gone up to Celtic.
Yeah.
I know he's playing at a lower level, but he's been outstanding. Like he's been outstanding, and yeah, like Adam Ida's an unbelievable for Celtic. And I think Brendan Rodgers is going to try and make that deal permanent, which is fantastic for us. Like because it was going a bit kind of similar enough with Mikey Johnson. It was going a bit stale at Norwich.
Yeah.
Um,
100%. And
so
he wasn't getting in week in, week out. Like, and it was always a team of Pookie or whoever it was. It's kind of more experienced Jordan Hugel and all these lads. Like, there's always someone kind of experienced getting in ahead of him. So we
mm,
need big time.
yeah, and then Obafemi's kind of had a stop start season. Yeah,
I
he's
actually
on
really
loan.
like him as well, Obafemi. I think
Yeah,
he's so talented. Like I think he's so much ability. I always think back to the Scotland game and thinking
what a
this
goal.
this is the real deal. But I feel like
Yeah.
he's always made the wrong career move or something. Like I don't think the Burnley move was that good. They had a settled front line. I feel like he's always making that wrong career move. He's gone out on the loan. Was it to Blackburn? I think
I
was
think
it
he's at Millwall. Is it
Millwall?
Millwall?
That's the one. Millwall. Yeah,
Yeah.
Millwall.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. And then he has a few injury problems as well. It just feels like anytime he's getting going, something hinders him, which is
Yeah,
a shame.
yeah.
But yeah, I can't see him starting now. I think it's a shoe in between Adam Ida and Evan Ferguson.
Yeah, I'd be inclined to agree with you on the Ida one. I think they probably get a start each in terms of Ida and
Mm.
Ferguson. Uh,
Yeah,
I think he might just kind of, as you said, to kind of whet the appetite thing. Obviously, Evan Ferguson is that
mm.
big name now.
100%.
I think he might go for that. And like that, like
Yeah.
on paper, you're looking at Schmodix in behind Ferguson linking up. You have Chio and Mickey Johnson out left and right. It might not work, but it could be
Mm.
unbelievable. It sounds exciting and it feels
Yeah, it
exciting.
does
Like,
sound exciting. I suppose it would be a headline as well if
yeah,
Evan Ferguson wasn't in the team. I don't think John O'Shea wants something like that over his head in his
no.
first game.
But I think if it was a competitive game, you could see Adam Ida sneak in fairness, yeah. Just based off game time and goal scored. He's 5 and 7, I think, for Celtic.
Yeah, certainly an honourable mention. Like, and probably arguably that striker position alongside the centre halves is the toughest one to pick.
Yeah, yeah,
If you would have said that 6 months ago, you would have laughed.
absolutely. No,
Just so
100%. 100%. But yeah, I think we go Ferguson. We say Ferguson.
yeah, go Ferguson. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So we're our official prediction slash what you want to see. Creevin Kelleher in goal, Coleman at right back, Dara O'Shea at left back, Owen Madile and Jake O'Brien at centre back. Then we have Josh Cullen and Will Smallbone in centre midfield. Sammy Schmodjex is in front of them in kind of a roaming 10 position. Chio Ogbene and Mickey Johnson on the wings and Evan Ferguson up top. Now, finally, Luke, I'm going to ask you for a scoreline prediction. Not that it matters a whole lot, not that we really know what to expect coming into it, but if you had to kind of go for something.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna be really optimistic here. No De Bruyne. We have to go start with the positives. I'm gonna say 1-0. I'm
One
gonna I'm
all.
gonna say 1-0.
Nice.
I think John O'Shea's gonna set us up well at the back. I think we're gonna have a look at the likes of Smodics and so on, and it's gonna be kind of a bit of a friendly, a bit of a dead rubber. Yeah, 1-1. That's what I'm feeling. What do you think?
Yeah, De Bruyne is ever actually that good for Belgium now. If you ever what, like, isn't he? He's always crap for Belgium, man.
Don't know
Uh,
what it is with
it's
players
really
when
weird, isn't
they're
it? Yeah.
unbelievable for a club and then for a country, it's just it's I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really weird. Looking at the Belgium team, like they're it's a good side, but they're not it doesn't blow me away. I think they could be there to be got at potentially. Do you know who the Belgian manager is these days? I know Martinez has gone to Portugal. I don't know, actually know who the manager is of Belgium now.
Wider, to be honest. Let's
Yeah,
have a look.
no idea. But anyway, yeah, I think fuck it, like I'm gonna go for a win. 2-1 Ireland, 2-1 Ireland. I think O'Shea to get the job, manager's job by Sunday, then lose on
And
Tuesday.
oh Jesus, yeah. Do
Permanent
you know
challenge.
what? Like it wouldn't surprise me because like the terminology with that is kind of like right, he's out of contract next month, our candidate. So like it doesn't sound like much has been signed to be honest. So if John O'Shea does the job, I'm hoping that it isn't a done deal.
Yeah,
Because I think that'd be a good kind of Stephen Kenny 2.0. They're
yeah.
getting Carsey eventually.
That would be the plan. That would be the ideal. Luke, an absolute pleasure as always, mate.
Cheers, Ross. Thanks for having me back on.
If you enjoyed the video, guys, please make sure to drop a like down below. It is much appreciated. And please do subscribe. And yeah, if you're going to the game, let us know in the comments alongside your scoreline prediction as well. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll catch you in a bit.